Okay, good day. For this week, two statistical tests will be explained. The first one is z-test, the second is t-test. And we're going to use this to test our hypothesis for one population. Kapag z-test is used kapag yung ating population standard deviation is given or known, and we use t-test naman kapag ang ating population standard deviation is unknown. Although we can use naman yung sample standard deviation as an estimate ng population standard deviation natin kapag hindi nga given, and that is according to the central limit theorem. But we're just going to use the concept for this section kapag given yung ating population standard deviation, z-test. Pag hindi naman given yung population standard deviation, t-test ang gagamitin natin. Okay? Take note kapag given ang population standard deviation, z-test. Kapag hindi given ang population standard deviation, we use t-test. Okay? And today, our topic is z-test for a mean or a one sample z-test. A sample came from a population with mean of mu. Sometimes tinatawag tong significance test for a single mean. Okay? And here are our lesson objectives. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to state the 5 steps in hypothesis testing. Test means when the population standard deviation is known using z-test. Okay? And the general formula for testing the hypothesis is this one. We have test value is equal to observed value minus expected value all over standard error. Yung observed value natin, ito yung statistics o yung sample mean na na-compute natin from a sample data, na yung sample data natin kinuha natin sa population data. Expected value natin, ito yung parameter, kagaya ng population mean. Ibig sabihin nito, your expected value to be obtained from the null is true or hypothesized value. Okay? Na kung saan yung ating denominator is standard error or error of the mean equal to sigma over square root of n. And we have the z-test. The z-test is statistical test for a mean of a population. It can be used either when n is greater than or equal to 30 or when the population is normally distributed and the population standard deviation is known or given. So, ibig sabihin, may conditions tayo dito for us to use z-test. Dapat n is greater than or equal to 30. Kung hindi naman, n is less than 30, dapat yung the population is normally distributed at given dapat yung ating population standard deviation. And the formula for z-test is this one. Z equals x bar minus mu over all over sigma over square root of n, where x bar is the sample mean, mu is the hypothesized population mean, the sigma is the population standard deviation, and n is the sample size. Okay? And also, take note of this. You have to consider this one for testing the mean of a single population. Dapat yung ating n, inuulit ko, greater than or equal to 30. Pwede natin gamitin yung normal curve as a model. That is according to central limit theorem. And as I've said earlier, kapag hindi naman given yung sigma, pwedeng gamitin din yung sample standard deviation as an estimate of the population standard deviation kung sakaling unknown yung ating sigma. But for now, gamitin natin dito z-test kapag given yung population standard deviation and t-test kapag unknown yung ating population standard deviation. And we have here the assumptions for z-test. Sinuulit ko, the sample is a random sample to either n greater than or equal to 30, and if n is less than 30, dapat population is normally distributed. And we have here the 5 steps for solving hypothesis testing. Step 1 is state the hypothesis and identify the claim. And that is, we write down the null and alternative at alin yung kine-claim doon. Lalagay natin. Step 2, find the critical value or values. Kapag one-tail test, isa lang ang ating critical value. Kapag two-tail test, we have 2 critical values. Okay? At na-discuss ko na sa inyo last week. And step 3, we're going to compute the test value using the formula that I have presented earlier dito sa video na to, yung z equals x bar minus mu all over sigma over square root of n. And then we're going to make the decision to reject or not to reject the null hypothesis. That is based from our computed value. I-compare natin doon sa critical value kasi sa critical value nandun yung ating rejection region. So if the computed z-test value lies within the critical value, critical region, we have to reject the null hypothesis. Otherwise, we accept. Okay, and the last one, we're going to summarize the results. Okay, so I'm going to give you 3 examples or problems regarding z-test for a single name. Thank you.